Okay, get the thumbs up from Leah. So we're going to call the Wednesday, February 8th planning board meeting to order 2023. First item on the agenda is continuances modification. Mr. Lee, there are none. Okay. That was easy. Item 2, approval of minutes from the planning board meeting of January 11th, 2023. What is your pleasure?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Got a motion made and second. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye. Chair votes aye, motion carries. Item 3. Applicant, International Manufacturing Services, owners Sylvia Holdings LLC, Terracotta Associates LP, and International Manufacturing Services, AP 47 2A, AP 5318J, AP 5318D, and AP 5318 Schoolhouse Lane. Approved decision to merge existing lots and create easement plan by relocating property lines between the owners. I believe we have that in our packet for final decision. Mr. Solicitor, you reviewed this as well? Okay. What is the board's pleasure?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the decision for the major modification to the final plan.
Get a motion, is there a second? All right, motion made and second for the final decision for Silver Holdings LLC, Terracotta Associates LP, and International Manufacturing Services Incorporated. Do we have any discussion on the motion? All right, I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Chair votes aye, motion carries. Thank you. All right. Item 4. Applicant Prescott Point LLC, owners Prescott Point LLC and Prescott Point Investor LLC, AP 55, Lot 1A, 2547 West Main Road. Approved decision for major modification to the final plan decision. Second amendment, that is also in your packet. Mr. Solicitor, did you get a chance to review this one as well?
Yes, I have. And again, this is just approving the form of decision. The decision that's already been made as far as.
Correct. Thank
Right.
you. All right, decision was in your packet for the second modification. What's the board's pleasure?
Again, I'd like to approve the decision for the major modification to the final plan.
So you making a motion?
I'm making a motion
Excellent.
to accept the decision.
Mr. Harding. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Wilson, okay. Motion made and second. Any discussion on the motion?
I just had a question on page 6 where it discusses, as we mentioned, that they were gonna, it was subject to the response from the Rhode Island DEM demonstrating compliance. Were they to provide us with a copy of that when they got it, when they received it? Was that?
I seem to think that, I seem to recall that when it's received, they were going to provide it.
That was the only thing I saw missing from this.
Good call, I guess. Could I amend it to say based with?
No, I don't,
Okay,
don't,
or it doesn't matter.
I think we're all set with the way
Okay.
it's written. But yes, you're right, Ms. Daly. It'll be brought in.
Condition is something that comes back to the board. It's just.
No,
That goes-
administratively, that's correct. You good with that? Okay. All right, any further discussion? I'm gonna call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Okay. Next up, item 5, applicant Joseph Lacerda and Lori Lacerda, co-executors, owner estate of Joseph F. Lacerda, AP 64, lots 14 and 15, AP 61, lot 2, Paquins Lane. Request for master plan approval to subdivide non-conforming lots, AP 64, lots 14 and 15, and AP 61, lot 2.
Good evening,
Martland.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, David Martland on behalf of the applicants and the owner. Mr. Silva could not be here this evening. He asked that I be here in his stead. this is a matter that's been before the board previously on I believe it was referenced as a minor subdivision. It received approval, we went back, went to the zoning board to get the appropriate zoning variance relief. This, I guess, should have been indicated that it was a major subdivision. And so therefore, we're here before you seeking the major subdivision approval. So more of a technicality in that respect. I believe there was a letter submitted requesting a combined approval, preliminary and final, I believe. And so we'd be making that request that this receive the combined approval so that this matter can move forward. I do have Mike Russell here with me this evening to answer any questions you have regarding the subdivision. But it's, essentially the subdivision that is taking place in pursuant to the last will and testament of Mr. Lacerda and dividing the property between his children.
So just a question, David. The agenda's got it for master plan, so that's all we're working on tonight.
Okay,
All right. Certainly if your prerogative when you come back for preliminary and final, but tonight it's advertised as master plan. Is that correct? Correct.
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
okay.
thank you.
You want to put on Mr. Russell, or what would you like to do next?
I do have Mr. Russell to answer any questions. I know that he was, this matter was explained to the board previously. So if the board would like to hear from Mr. Russell on this, I'm happy to present him.
Let's see, any members of the board want to hear from Mr. Russell? Okay. I think we don't have to hear from Mr. Russell then.
Thank you.
Anything else to add?
No, I don't have anything further to add.
You good, Leah? So a couple things. I do know that it looks like we had a letter of support too, so we should introduce that into the record from Z Family Farm LLC. Powder Point Ave, Duxbury, Mass. Dear Mr. Lozinski, I'm writing to offer my support for the proposed subdivision of AP 64 lots 14 and 15 between the two heirs of the estate of Joseph F. Lacerda. My property is the farmland immediately abutting the aforementioned property to the west. The property is held in Z Family Farm LLC, of which I am a member. Please let me know if there are any questions. Sincerely, Paul Zerlo, NECC, Mr. Martin's office as well. So we have that. Is there anybody on the Zoom, Leah, that wants to speak to this petition?
Have comments to make, please virtually raise your hand and I'll have to meet you.
Okay, in the meantime, if Mr. Russell wants to add any points on the plan, et cetera, clarifying points.
Mike, if anyone is listening and participating via Zoom, for their benefit, if you could just sort of briefly explain the existing conditions of the site and what is being proposed in terms of the subdivision.
Certainly. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mike Russell, LDC Engineering Consulting on behalf of the applicant. So as David mentioned, this is not your typical conventional major subdivision application. It was more of a technicality due to the relief being sought from the zoning board for the nonconformity of one of the parcels. But the plan that you're looking at here is basically land owned by the estate on the south side of Paquins Lane, which is private way. It's not a town road by any means. So, in the settlement of the estate and the distribution of land and the creation of these parcels to be given to the heirs, in order to protect the rights of everyone, or preserve the rights of everyone, which actually includes a parcel to the rear owned by Z Family Farm, which I think provided that letter. We needed to create a parcel to be conveyed to the property to the north, which is map 61 parcel 2, which also is owned by the Lacerdas, I believe. And Dave might be able to speak to this more accurately, and the applicants are here as well. But I believe it was the wishes of Mr. Lacerda, the late Mr. Lacerda, to provide us 50-foot right of way to this overall property off of East Main Road. So because the existing boundary essentially went down the middle of this right of way and framed Paquin's Lane, it was necessary, in order to achieve that, it was necessary to convey a small parcel at Paquin's Lane to parcel 2 to the north in order to free up that right of way. Now, there is an easement on the property for access and utilities for Portsmouth Water that's afforded or benefits the Lacerdas and also Z Family Farm. So that's in a nutshell. As I said, it's a little unconventional in a major subdivision sense, but that's the basis of the subdivision.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. Any questions from any members of the board? Okay, I'm gonna see if there's any abutters or any other interested parties that would like to speak on this petition.
That also opens it up to those that are dialing in from home. If you have any questions, concerns, please virtually raise your hand. None noted from
All
those
right.
online.
Hearing none, what's the pleasure of the board? And before anybody does make a motion, there is a note from Leah indicating the conditions and whatnot if we do vote to approve. So just want to make sure you have that.
I read it online.
Okay. What is your pleasure?
I'd like to make a request for the master plan approval to subdivide the non-conforming lots AP 64, lots 14 and 15, and AP 61, lot 2.
So there are some findings of facts that we have to find as well. So you're going to include those in your motion.
Yes.
And those findings of fact are that the granting of this approval will not result in conditions that will impair the public health, safety, and welfare. The granting of the approval will not substantially or permanently injure the appropriate use of the property in the surrounding area zoning district. The plans for the subject property comply with all the requirements of the zoning ordinance and land development regulations, or that the necessary variances or waivers have been granted. And the plans for the subject project are consistent with the 2022 comprehensive plan. Is that part of your motion too,
Yes,
Mr. Harding?
yes, it is.
Okay. All right, we have a motion made. Is there a second? Okay. I'm gonna call for discussion. Any discussion on the motion?
The neighbor's letter.
I read this into the record,
Okay.
but that's a good point. We should include this as part of the package as well. I'm gonna call for a vote on the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Any nay? Motion carries. Right. Item 6, so we're missing a member tonight. Maybe it'd be appropriate if we could postpone number 6 until a later date when the entire planning board is available to discuss that. That involves our written planning board decisions. What is the board's pleasure on number 6?
Make a motion to postpone item 6. The process for approving and recording written planning board decisions, past and future practices, to the next planning board meeting in March.
Okay, is there a second? Mr. Garso, thank you. All right, we have a motion made and second. Any discussion on the motion? I call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Last up is the monthly project status report, which was included in the packet. We get a motion to receive and place on file.
Sure.
Mr. Harding, is
Yes.
there a second?
Second.
Mr. Garso. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries.
Just yet, I just have one little special thing to say.
Oh, sure, go right ahead.
We planning staff recently got the new comprehensive community plan approved.
Oh,
Yay,
Yay,
yay, very exciting.
awesome.
Would everybody like a copy of it?
yes.
Since you are generally making decisions based on the comp plan, you may want to peruse through it on your Friday night.
When we can't get to sleep.
Yeah, when you can't get to sleep.
Yeah.
I do want to, say that it was Gary Crosby that really got it, most of it done.
That'd be great.
Yeah, Gary's actually, has raised his hand. He's dialed in.
Okay,
Can we just give it a second for him to?
sure, absolutely. We always like to hear from Mr. Crosby.
Gary, do you have something to say? Thank you for joining us.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Got it.
Good. I'm glad you can't see me because I'm in my pajamas, but.
So are we.
but, I wanted to sign it. I wanted to check in because I thought this Lacerda thing was really quite interesting, a private road and an easement and all that stuff. And I think you guys all resolved it really quite well. So I'm pleased with that. And apart from that, I think that I'm delighted that the comprehensive plan has been approved. I think that like all comprehensive plans, they have the danger of sitting on the shelf forever. And I'm hoping that we can collectively, as you may know, I'm still sort of working for the town on a contract basis, and Leah and I have been talking about things that I can do for her, and perhaps there are things to implement the plan that I can do for her. And let's just make sure that the goals, policies, and implementation items of the plan are we move forward over the next 20 years to make it happen. That's what it's all about.
I didn't plan that Gary was going to join the conversation. We didn't plan that at all.
Well, thank you, Gary.
Pleasant surprise.
Pleasant surprise.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. I just, I haven't been attending, but I've decided that I'm going to try and re-engage a bit with planning board, town council, and zoning board meetings, just to listen in, if nothing else. It's nice being around.
Well, thank you, and congratulations to you too. I know you were very instrumental in helping get that over the finish line, so thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
My pleasure, Leah. Talk to you soon.
You too.
All right, anything else, Leah?
Not on my end, other than if everybody wants a copy,
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to make everybody a
I'll
copy.
take one. for
Please
sure.
do.
Yeah.
Looks like everyone wants one. I'm sure Mr. Tibbetts will want one as
Sure
well.
thing.
All right, do we have a motion to
Yeah,
adjourn?
motion to adjourn.
Mr. Harding, did a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye,
Aye. All right, motion adjourned.